I don't talk about things necessarily just from the tax aspect for truckers, but we talk about it from the business aspect.
Landline Now, welcome back. If you read Landline Magazine, you'll certainly recognize our next guest. Barry Fowler joins me. He is the founder of Fowler Tax and Taxation Solutions, Inc. in Houston. He also pens the Trucking and Taxes column for Landline Magazine. Barry, it's great to have you here. How are you doing?
Actually, it's great to be here. I enjoy coming up here and meeting with you guys and working at and talking at Truck to Success.
Yes, and we want to talk about Truck to Success. 3-day seminar. How did it go?
It's been fantastic. I enjoy coming up here because I get to sit down and meet with the truckers, not just during the seminar, but I sit down afterwards in the lobby of the hotel and talk to the truckers that want to come down and talk and ask questions. And a lot of times it's questions they don't want to ask in front of everybody else. But it gets us an opportunity to discuss those and me get to hear the stories about trucking.
And when you did your presentation, what is it you talk about at Truck to Success?
So the first day I'll come out here and talk about lease purchase and how the implications of taxes and depreciation and how you purchase this truck and how it's going to affect your taxes and how we can use it to either lower your taxes or make it beneficial to you to spread it out and do it over a period of time or a number of years for the depreciation. And then we jump into business entities. How should you structure your business? Not from the legal standpoint, but from the tax standpoint. So how are you going to be taxed if you're going to do an LLC? Are you a single member, multi-member? Are you going to be taxed as a partnership, sole proprietorship, or S Corp? And all the tax consequences and benefits of each one of them. But we also talk about it from a business standpoint. So is it advisable to be an S Corp versus a sole proprietorship? And is it worth doing from the business aspect of doing this? Do you really want to do all the paperwork that is required for the S Corp and the extra tax returns? Or do you want to stay as a sole proprietorship? And then what's the difference in the taxes? And then the last session we have is probably the one that everybody really wants to hear is the bookkeeping and tax aspects of being an owner and operator. What can you deduct? What can you not deduct? How do you use the tax system and the tax code to find every single deduction out there? So we kind of talk about, you talk about the rich people, you talk about celebrities and how they don't pay much in tax. Well, they do still pay tax, but they have somebody that's coaching them, planning for them to find every single deduction that the tax code allows you to take. Tax code's your roadmap to save money on taxes. It's not there to penalize you. It's to help you find the way to do it. And you need a good professional to do it, whether it's us or somebody else out there. It's got to be somebody that knows trucking to help you. And that's what we specialize in.
Do you find when you go to Truck to Success, there's a vast array of people who come with different backgrounds. Do you find people are kind of like, whoa, I didn't think all this through. I think some people think you just buy a truck and you're on your way. Are they surprised when you talk?
I think they're surprised at everything that happens in Truck to Success, and I think Louis says it best sometimes. You're here to learn about being an owner-operator and running this truck and every aspect of it. So not just, the taxes or the entity or lease purchase, but everything that's going to happen when you become that owner-operator and you're running that trucking company. And when you come here and learn, you may decide, hey, this just isn't right for me. Money well spent.
Yeah. Because
you came up with the determination, this isn't really what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And others come in and they get their eyes, wide open now to all the aspects of it, and they learn everything they need to do, and they go after it gangbusters to do trucking better. And that really helps everybody from all aspects of it.
I'm curious, what kind of questions did you get both in the seminar and outside?
Well, we got a lot about depreciation, and that gets really complicated. One of them we had last night when we were sitting in the lobby was talking about worker classification. Should somebody be a W-2 employee or should they be an independent contractor? And if you're running your trucking business, a lot of times it comes down to the 10 rules the IRS has to classify a worker as an employee versus an independent contractor. Control, who's providing the equipment, who's telling you who, what, where, when, and how to do it. If you answer those questions, you can really determine if it's a W-2 employee or their contractor. Somebody asked me that question again this morning. So, it's the important things like that that become, really exciting. And a lot of times they're asking, can I deduct this? Mm-hmm. Can I deduct that? And, we look at what's ordinary and necessary per, tax code. But we also look at finding ways to make things that you're spending now, maybe in your personal life, to make it relate to business, something that you've actually got to use in the business, and it becomes ordinary, necessary, and deductible. And we always talk about deducting things pre-tax versus paying something after you've paid the tax. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting to me. I always tell people I try to keep you awake as much as I possible talking about tax code and talking about taxes. But people are awake, listening, and asking mm-hmm. questions, and that's the thing I love.
And I know I went to Truck to Success a couple of years ago, and I think there was like a husband and wife team. The wife was the bookkeeper. Do you see that a lot in the years you've come to Truck to Success, that whoever the bookkeeper is comes, which I assume is beneficial to hear from you?
Yeah, we see husband and wife coming occasionally to the show, or somebody bringing their significant other that's involved in their business, and yeah, it's good for them to get the information and know what's going on behind the scenes. They learn a lot about trucking. People have asked me, why do I come up here besides meeting with everybody and learning everything about the truckers that are here? I learn something new every time sitting in these sessions and listening to everything going on when Tom or Margot or everybody from OOIDA is out there talking. I come away with something different that I can help my clients that are in trucking, be better at what they do.
What would you say are some of the top questions that you get, not just in Truck to Success, but just maybe on an every week basis?
Why do I have to pay so much in taxes?
I think we all ask that question.
It's the way you vote. I don't know. Tax code is tax code. We try to work through the tax code. The next question we get is, why do we got to make estimated tax payments? Or how can I get rid of the tax debt that I've accumulated over the years because maybe I didn't file, or I didn't file on time, or I just didn't have the money to pay the taxes because I didn't make my estimated taxes, and somebody didn't tell me to do it. Those are a lot of the questions that we get, and we fight the IRS as well to help reduce interest penalties and even get rid of some of the tax in doing some tax resolution.
For those who want to become an owner-operator, when it comes to taxes, how important is it to get some help and not just try to do it themselves?
I think that's one of the most important things, is having a tax advisor or business advisor or somebody like I talk about. I don't talk about things necessarily just from the tax aspect for truckers, but we talk about it from the business aspect. What's the right business decision? There's a lot of tax preparers out there that want to look like your hero and tell you to do something because it looks good for taxes. But is it right for business? And that's what you need, is a sounding board that you can actually talk to, ask questions. So when you're looking for that tax professional or that business professional, or that does both maybe, they need to be very oriented to what you do as an owner or operator and being a trucker. And they got to know trucking inside and out. There's some good ones out there, but vet them, make sure, talk to them, see what they know about trucking before you decide to go to them and use them. Because there's different deductions like per diems that some tax preparers don't even know you can take as a over-the-road trucker. And you want to make sure that you're getting every deduction from what you do in trucking. And that's the only way to know. Because you go to somebody that does general contractors, they're not thinking about what you do as an owner-operator behind that wheel of the truck.
What are some of the common mistakes people make?
Common mistakes, like I said, estimated tax payments, not making those, not taking every deduction that you're actually allowed by law to take. Hiring somebody that has absolutely no clue what you're doing in this business. And then not giving you any advice as you go. So you can have a tax preparer and you go to them on April 15th every year to file your taxes, but you hadn't talked to them all the whole year after the last time you filed. Well, they've done nothing for you besides take your information and file taxes. How do I help you on April 15th for what you did last year? There's not much I can do for you. It's going to be, hey, this is your deductions, this is what you've done. But if you're with me all year long, we've done tax planning. We've guided you to find more deductions. We've guided you to do maybe a specialized retirement plan or maybe an HSA plan, or finding other ways of putting money aside and away before tax to reduce your tax bill. Trying to reduce your tax bill afterwards becomes a little bit tougher to do. You haven't done any planning.
Now, back to Truck to Success. Do you know how many years you've been coming?
Since we restarted, so I tried to talk to Louie and them and find out when we started this, and Tom, and I think we've been doing this now 7 years.
7 years? Okay.
Something like that. And, it's been really fun and really interesting. And, I think one year we did this on Zoom, and that was the one year that I was like, gosh, I didn't get to meet with anybody. This was impersonal. So if you come to Truck to Success, or you want to come and thinking about moving from being a W-2 driver to an owner-operator, come here, be in person, socialize, talk to your fellow truckers out there, talk to everybody that's from OOIDA that's doing parts of the seminar. Talk to them. They have the information you need, and they're never afraid to share. And matter of fact, they find out when you're there, you find out all the extra benefits of being a member of OOIDA that you didn't realize you had. You have somebody that'll review your lease before you sign on with somebody. You have somebody that'll look at your lease purchase agreement as well before you sign on, with somebody, and they'll tell you the bad things or the good things about it. You get to meet with me, whether it's there at the session, breakfast, lunch, or even sitting down in the lobby like last night having pizza with me, and just be able to talk. If you're afraid to ask a question in front of a whole bunch of group of people, ask it there. You see me walking around the hotel, stop me, ask me. That's what I'm here for. And that's what I love. And I think that's what everybody should get out of this.
I'm curious, over the past 7 years, I know there was probably a couple years in there we took a break, but how has questions changed over the years, or is it kind of all the same?
A lot of it's really similar and the same. We're changing people that are coming, but we're not changing people's thoughts of, oh my God, taxes are so terrible. I don't want to pay anything. Oh my God, I pay way too much in tax. Oh my God, am I classifying this person the right way? Oh my, what are estimated tax payments? Why do I got to pay these? And it's what everybody's thoughts are. How can I reduce this or that and go in that way?
All right. Barry, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in.
It's always a pleasure. I enjoy it, and thank you for having me, and I look forward to always being back here for Truck to Success and joining you here.